You ever watch someone dig a hole for you and then fall right into it themselves? Don't scroll. This right here is the kind of truth that doesn't need selling. It speaks for itself because you're not here by mistake. Life's about to remind you of something powerful. You don't have to fight dirty to win. You just have to stay true and let karma do what karma does best. Stay with me. I promise this isn't a speech, it's your confirmation. I've lived long enough to see the full circle of energy. Betrayal doesn't need revenge, it needs patience. I know what it's like when the knife comes not from strangers, but from the ones you gave the map to your soul. It burns. But let me tell you this, your silence, your grace, your peace is louder than any payback. Because the universe, it doesn't miss. Not a beat, not a move, not a lie. When they dig pits for others, when they scheme behind closed doors, oh, it always circles back. It might not happen on your timeline, but it's happening. Watch for it. And when it does, you'll be too busy evolving to say, I told you so. You are not losing. You are learning. You are not being punished. You are being protected. And every single person who tried to break you is about to watch you bloom. And the best part? You won't need to lift a finger to clap back, because karma claps back for you. Energy never lies. You might not always have the proof in your hands, but deep down you feel it. That moment when someone smiles at you, but something about it is off. Or when they say the right words, but the energy behind it doesn't match. That's not paranoia, it's perception. You're not imagining things. You're picking up on what they can't hide, no matter how well they dress it up. See, energy is louder than words. It's a signal, a vibration, and it doesn't need translation. What people carry inside them, whether it's envy, love, bitterness, or truth, leaks out. Even if they try to mask it with charm or good intentions, it shows. And maybe not right away. Maybe not in a way others can see, but you feel it. Your gut knows before your mind catches up. That's the wisdom people forget they have instinct. So when someone wrongs you, don't be surprised if they walk around like nothing happened. That's not because karma's asleep. That's because karma waits. It doesn't hit on impulse. It moves with rhythm, timing, precision. And while they pretend everything's fine, the energy they put out is building up around them like a mirror. What you send out comes back, not just in actions, but in thoughts and feelings and intentions. And some people carry so much darkness inside, they don't even realize they're being followed by their own shadows. They think they're getting ahead. They think they've fooled everyone. But what they're really doing is planting seeds that grow into problems they can't run from later. That's why you don't have to chase people down or explain yourself to those who already decided who they want you to be. That's wasted breath. Just stay in your lane. Protect your peace. Watch how things unfold when you choose silence over chaos. The truth always breaks through. The truth, it may take time, but it's always louder in the end. And no matter how much noise someone makes trying to hide their guilt or shift blame, the energy behind their actions follows them like a shadow that never leaves. You don't have to react to everything. You don't have to explain, prove, defend, or fight every time someone crosses a line. That's the trap. They want your energy. They want to pull you into the same mess they created. But real power, it's in choosing not to go there. It's hard, especially when you've been hurt, disrespected, or betrayed by someone you trusted. The first instinct is to speak up, to clap back, to let the world know what they did. And sure, it feels good for a second. But the real peace comes when you realize you're allowed to walk away without setting the room on fire behind you. You don't need to burn down what hurt you just to prove a point. See, when you react to people who betrayed you, you end up staying connected to them longer than necessary. You give them a piece of your focus, your day, your mind. And for what? Their actions already said everything. Your silence isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's knowing that not everything deserves your voice. Sometimes the best way to respond is not to. Not because you're scared, not because you're passive, but because you've grown. You're protecting your energy, not wasting it. When you're really in alignment, you realize that not every fight is yours to pick. Some things are better left to the universe to sort out. Let them think they got away with it. Let them believe they've won. That illusion won't last. Truth has a way of making its own entrance, loud, clear, and on time. The people who hurt others to get ahead will eventually trip on the lies they built. And you'll be too far ahead to even notice when it happens. When you react, you give them space in your story. When you stay quiet, you stay in control. They lose access to your energy, and that's the real consequence. You're not playing their game. You're building something better. Peace becomes your answer, and that peace is louder than any argument you could ever have. The universe keeps receipts. Every move, every word, every intention, it's all recorded. Even the things people think they got away with. Even the lies told behind closed doors, the manipulation no one saw, the smiles that hid something darker. Just because you didn't catch them in the act doesn't mean it disappeared. Life has a way of keeping tabs even when you're not looking. People forget that timing isn't always instant. We live in a world that moves fast. Click, scroll, react. But the deeper stuff, the things that shape our path, that doesn't work on demand. Karma doesn't rush. It's not here to give you immediate satisfaction. It's here to restore balance. And balance takes time. That's why some people seem to be thriving after hurting others. But what you don't see is what's being prepared behind the curtain. What they don't see is what they're walking into. Because what you do comes back. What you give, you get. It might not show up the same way, but it echoes. It returns in the form of situations, people, patterns. And some folks live in cycles they don't even realize they created. Always running into the same struggles, always losing what they thought they won. That's not bad luck. That's just the receipt being read out loud by life itself. So when you've been betrayed and it feels like they're getting away with it, don't lose your center. Don't beg for karma to hurry. It's working even if you can't see it. Think of it like seeds in the ground. You don't see the roots growing, but they are, quietly, steadily. And one day the truth breaks through the surface, always. And when that moment comes, it won't be loud or dramatic. It'll be real. That's how the universe works. It doesn't need a stage. It just needs the right moment. And when it lands exactly where it should. Not a second early, not a second late. That's why your job isn't to track their downfall or wish them harm. Your only job is to keep your path clean. Let your life speak louder than their lies. Let your calm be the proof that you trust the process, because everything, absolutely everything, finds its way back home. Let your growth be their karma, not your anger, not your revenge, not your explanation, your growth. Because nothing shakes people more than watching someone they tried to break stand taller than ever. You don't have to get even. You just have to get better. Let the version of you they no longer have access to be the loudest response you give. People expect you to fall apart when they hurt you. They expect to see you bitter, angry, trying to make noise, trying to get back at them. But when you stay silent and start glowing, that's what really rattles them. Not because you're pretending everything's okay, but because you are okay. Because you chose healing over hostility. You chose peace over petty. And that choice, that's what sets you apart. When someone does you wrong, there's a crossroads. You can either lower yourself to match their behavior, or you can rise so far above it that they no longer even recognize the person you've become. Growth isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving to yourself that their actions can't define your future. The storm they brought into your life was never strong enough to stop what's inside you. And every time you choose to focus on your healing, your peace, your goals, that's one more step away from who they thought you were. People who hurt others often count on one thing, that their actions will ruin you, that you'll stay stuck in the hurt. But when you keep growing, keep glowing, keep moving, that is their real loss. They don't just lose you, they lose the power they thought they had over your story. And that loss is louder than anything you could ever say, your success, your happiness, your evolution. It reminds them that they no longer have a seat at your table, that their part in your story ended, and the next chapter doesn't include them, not out of hate, but because you've simply outgrown the version of yourself that allowed that kind of energy in. So when you feel tempted to prove a point, remember, your progress is the point. The new life you're building, that's the karma they never saw coming. Peace is the final power, not control, not revenge, not shouting the truth to everyone who will listen. Peace, that quiet space inside you that doesn't need to argue, doesn't need to be seen, doesn't need to win. Because when you have peace, you've already won. See, people who live in chaos don't understand peace. When they can't reach you emotionally anymore, when you stop reacting, when you stop showing up to their drama, that's when they start feeling the real loss. Because your peace makes noise. It speaks volumes without saying a word. It says, you no longer have access to me. And that message echoes louder than any confrontation. There's a kind of strength in peace that's often misunderstood. Some think it means weakness. That staying silent means you're letting people walk all over you. But real peace isn't about ignoring what happened. It's about choosing not to carry it. It's not forgetting. It's choosing your mental clarity over proving a point. And that's the kind of strength people can't fake. When someone wrongs you, they expect chaos. They expect you to fight back, to be broken, to stay in that space of pain. But peace is a curveball. It's unexpected. And it forces them to sit with themselves, with the weight of what they did, without the distraction of your reaction. That's when truth hits the hardest, when there's nothing left to deflect it. And what happens is, as you protect your peace, you start to attract a different life, a life with more clarity, more calm, more alignment. You stop repeating the same cycles. You stop giving energy to what drains you. You start becoming someone even you didn't expect, a stronger, wiser, freer version of yourself. People will notice that. The same ones who tried to hurt you will feel the distance. They'll see your light and realize they don't know how to reach it anymore. And not because you made them feel small, but because you chose not to stay small with them. That peace, that calmness, that inner stillness, it's what makes you untouchable. Not cold, just unavailable to anything that doesn't match your growth. The pain they gave you is building something. You may not see it right away, but every disappointment, every betrayal, every hard moment, they're not just breaking you down, they're shaping something new in you. You're not being punished, you're being redirected. And sometimes the only way to get where you're meant to be is through the exact path you didn't ask for. Life has this strange way of using what was meant to harm you, to heal you, not instantly, not without tears or confusion. But slowly, over time, you begin to realize that the pain wasn't empty. It carried purpose. That person who left you, the one who lied, the one who tried to dim your light, they didn't win. They pushed you into a deeper level of yourself. They triggered growth you wouldn't have chosen on your own. Sometimes you don't rise because things are easy. You rise because you have no other option. You rise because you're tired of hurting. And in that rising, in that quiet rebuilding, you become someone stronger, not harder, just more aware, more tuned in. You start to see life differently. You stop chasing what doesn't feed you. You stop settling for energy that confuses your peace. You start choosing yourself. And that's what the flip side of pain is. It's clarity. It's evolution. It's becoming the kind of person who no longer fits in the spaces that once broke you. You start realizing that the ending wasn't just a loss, it was an opening. A door to something better, something more aligned. Something that doesn't require you to shrink, hide, or question your worth. It's wild how the very thing that hurt you becomes the reason you found your strength. It's not about forgetting what they did. It's about using that experience to build a life where their name doesn't even echo anymore. Because when you stop seeing the pain as the end of the story and start seeing it as the start of your transformation, everything changes. You begin to understand that everything really is connected, that nothing happens by accident, that even the people who broke you were part of the plan to build you. So don't chase revenge, chase your peace, keep rising. And when you feel tempted to respond, remember this: their betrayal is already destroying them. All you gotta do is watch.